Hi, this is Paul Evans, and welcome to Nicheology.com's online profit systems and strategies video series. And we are going to begin by talking about Online Business 101. The key word is business. People get involved online and they think, well, it's just a hobby to me. I want to make a couple of extra dollars. And then they get into it, want to make a lot more money, get excited about it, and then begin to wonder, well, why isn't it really working for me? How come all of these other guys are making all this money online, but I'm not able to make any? Well, when you start out with the mindset of you're just going to have a good time or you're just going to have a hobby, there's nothing wrong with that, but that is not what a business person thinks. Business person concentrates on how to magnify, how to multiply their business into different elements, different facets, and they create a growth plan, they create a business plan. And a majority of online entrepreneurs never create a business plan, never create a growth plan, never create a strategy in order to grow their business and make it as large and as profitable as it could be. So the key word is business. If you're going to get started online, if you're going to do business online, don't just think about it like a business. Own it and run it like you would a business. Investment and return. This is another element that a lot of beginning online marketers forget about, and that is that it actually does cost money to do business online. Now, I know that the cost of entry is next to nothing. It doesn't cost hardly anything to get started online compared to an offline business. However, it doesn't mean that there are zero costs. There are costs involved. And so you've got to think about this as an investment, not simply as an expense, not simply saying, well, this is going to cost me this, this, and this, and I'm not going to have any money. Part of your business plan is to say, if I'm going to spend $8 on this domain name and 19 bucks a month on this hosting, what am I going to get in return for that? How am I going to make that money back and then make it profitable? So think in terms of an investment and a return, or what you're going to spend and what are you going to profit when it comes to your business. Now, here are just some basic and primary areas. First of all, hosting. You've got to have your websites up somewhere. Now, you can follow some models. We're not going to get into it in this video of affiliate marketing where you don't have to have a website at all. But if you're really going to be in business, you're going to need a place to operate from. And usually that is a personal website, so you'll need hosting. You can go to HostGator or someone like that to get your hosting, and it can be as low as $4 a month or as high as you want if you get a dedicated server. But I would encourage you to get their package that's around $14.95 to $19.95 a month that is just full blown. Your domain name, you can get that at GoDaddy.com. Cost you around $8, $9 a year for your domain name, and put some time into that. Think about it like you would a business. What do you want it named? What do you want to be known for? What type of positioning are you going to put in play? And this is just your first one. You know, you'll end up probably owning hundreds of domain names over time if this really becomes your full-time work and your full-time business. Learning. You've got to put money into education. You've got to grow. And this is one of the challenges online. It can become a frustration because there's always another secret out there, another formula to follow. But what we often forget is that the cost of education online is very cheap compared to the cost of education offline. I was talking to someone this week about their child that is going to college out in California. It's $30,000 a year for them to go to college. And let's say they stay for 4 years, and so they've spent $120,000 to become educated in an area that they are not even positive 100% they can get a job in. I mean, that's a large business investment, $120,000, and to not know if there's going to be a return. And so we'll hear people whine or complain. I'm sure you've been around folks like this who whine about an ebook being $37 or $50 when they can go to the bookstore and buy a book for $10. Well, when you are wanting specific education, that same course that you're getting for $37, if you went to a college, that same course would cost you around $1,000. So you're really getting a good deal. So invest in your learning and your education. And then also your tools, what you're going to need. Besides your hosting and your domain name, you're going to need some way to design your web pages if you don't outsource that and have someone design them for you. You'll need some sort of graphic package design. You could use GIMP.com. That's actually a free resource. Or you can get an autoresponder, which I highly recommend, aweber.com. That costs you $20 a month. So there's a lot of other investments that you have to think about. So don't just jump into online business and think, I'm going to make this fortune. Sit down and make a list. Draw out a list of what you're going to need and how much you're going to need to invest in order to run this business effectively. Because you're not getting involved in a hobby. You're getting involved in a business.